right, we're live on YouTube, I think. So, all right. If you could just chat me on Slack, Kathy, if we're live on YouTube. I can't tell if it worked or not, but I think it did. And we are going to start with this training. We are live on YouTube. Cool. All right, so I'm going to hit record and get this party started. All right, hello and welcome to this training. I'm Chris from Lifter LMS. We're going to talk about how to build an online course in 2020 with WordPress. And I want you to stay to the end. We are going to be doing a giveaway if you stay to the end. And there's also going to be a lot of opportunity for Q&A. So I want to start by asking everyone who is here so far, what is your goal? What are you trying to do with your course, your membership site? If you're doing it for a client or trying to build a WordPress LMS agency, let me know in the chat, what is the goal or what is the problem you're having with your existing solution or with your course project in general? Let me know in the chat. I'm going to share my screen and let me know if this goes to full screen. Are we full screen, Kathy? I hope so. I can't, if you're typing, I can't see it because it takes over everything when I do this. Can you see the whole?
Yep.
There it is. Cool. All right. So again, I'm Chris Badgett from Lifter LMS. This presentation is how to build a learning management system with WordPress on your website in 2020 and beyond. I'd like to welcome everybody's here. If you haven't yet, leave a comment down below in the chat. Let us know where you're calling in from. Stay to the end. This is going to be an interactive training. It's kind of a two-part training. If you have questions as I go, as soon as you have a question, put it into the chat so that I can get to them. If it's really quick, I might be able to do it while I'm presenting, or I might save it to the end, but feel free to ask as many questions as you like. And this is going to be recorded. So if you want to rewatch this, we are going to be sending out a replay. But I'm just going to jump into it. The first part of this is about like what Lifter LMS is, what makes it different, what makes it special. And then the second part is we're actually going to build an entire online course and get it up for sale in less than 30 minutes. So yeah, so stick around. So there's the first part we're going to present. The second part, I'm going to share my screen and you're going to watch me build, and I'll get to questions as we go in there. Thank you to Presell and Ugo Chokwu, who's been leaving comments so far. Drop comments. Let me know what questions you have, and we're just going to jump right into it. So this presentation is about how to build a learning management system website with WordPress in 2020. And I'm going to go over some trends, some use cases, and some technology to help you make the best decision for your project. I'm Chris Badgett, the CEO and co-founder of Lifter LMS, which as of this presentation is almost 6 years old. And I've been in WordPress for about 12 years. Before Lifter LMS, we were building custom membership sites and training platforms for clients. So that's kind of the backstory. Currently, there's over somewhere between 10 and 20,000 people with active Lifter LMS powered courses, training-based membership sites, employee training portals. It's been growing a lot. So the different types of people that we help, I kind of put them into three categories. There's the builders, like Melissa Love here, who has a case study on her site. She builds sites for clients. She also build a site for herself. It's very common when people get into WordPress LMS websites, if they're a WordPress professional, where they build these types of sites for their clients, they fall in love with it. They see the opportunity of what they can do and what kind of courses and training that they can make. That's what happened to Melissa. We've got starters like David Blackman here, who's also in our case studies, who wanted to build a online course for people actually in the WordPress community that use Divi. He launched that course about 3 years ago. I think he had 200 enrollments on his first launch. And since that time, he's launched 5 more courses. It's an awesome story. Go check that out in the Lifter LMS case studies, which is on the examples link in the main menu. And then we've got switchers. These are people like Nick who switch from hosted platforms where they've just kind of outgrown or they needed more control, power, flexibility, from hosted coursewares or LMS sites or course marketplaces. It's very common for people to outgrow that and then come to WordPress. So there's a couple of trends I want to go over about why now is the best time to be building a learning management system with WordPress. Number one is that online education is going mainstream. It's actually been around for a while. E-learning or, learning certain niche topics online, has been around for like 15 years or so, 10 years for certain things, 5 years for other things. But right now it's really going mainstream in a big way. We see things like YouTube ads for masterclass where you can learn comedy from Steve Martin or how to cook with Gordon Ramsay. This whole online education thing is no longer kind of on the fringes. It's really becoming a mainstream thing that everybody knows what it is. It's also projected to be a $300 billion industry by 2025, which is massive. And this statistic is pre-COVID. It might go up even more. And the other trend is just the global pandemic. I was doing some research in the statistics this morning. Some are saying that it's accelerated e-learning adoption and online education by 5 years over the course of 5 months. So that is a obvious trend that is really increasing demand and really just the need for online education. And then there's 5G, mobile technology, internet technology on the rise, connecting more people all over the world, making it easier for people to get online, even in rural areas. So internet, but fast, slow, urban, rural access just continues to accelerate at an exponential rate. The next thing is tool accessibility. So the smartphones we have in our pockets, the types of cameras, what our laptops can do. It's never been easier to use the hardware and the software to create digital learning experiences online. This picture here is a picture of somebody with a, probably around $300 to $500 camera, becoming a YouTuber or something like that. These tools have never been more accessible in terms of what regular consumers or prosumers can use to create digital content and e-learning content. So I want to go over a couple of use cases with you. One of them is the online course. This is Esther. She's also on our examples page. She created an online course for military spouses, which have their unique challenges in terms of, being on bases, maybe moving around to different locations. She was helping them find careers as virtual assistants and learning that job so that they could develop that income stream and that profession, even despite the challenges of being a military spouse and of moving around and whatnot. So she created her online course. In her case study, her results are not typical, but last I saw, she was doing somewhere around $50,000 a month with her online course in that specific niche. This is Melissa's site we talked about earlier. This is a training-based membership site. you know, where Esther was doing like one online course, this is like an entire membership site that has multiple courses, library of guest experts, which are webinars that are recorded live and then turned into evergreen training. She's got special discounts, a calendar of event, other digital assets that her members can download. So this is using Lifter LMS for a full-on membership website. Then we've got the course marketplace. So this is one of the largest, if not the largest, WordPress training site in the world, powered by Lifter LMS. It's called WP 101. Last time we interviewed the owner of this, Sean Hesketh, he said that they had over 30,000 members. That was several years ago. And he has multiple teachers on this platform who teach various topics in the WordPress ecosystem. So this is where it's not just one person, but multi-instructor platform. This is a popular plugin in the WordPress ecosystem called Groundhog. And it's kind of like the Infusionsoft for WordPress. And Adrian over at Groundhog uses online courses to do education-based marketing and onboard his customers into his software product. He even uses Lifter LMS to create a partner training program to help people who provide services that use his tool to be successful. So that's another use case for Lifter LMS. And then the final is an internal training site. This is where you may need to do some kind of compliance training or just employee training, where you're creating business playbooks or safety trainings, compliance trainings to capture the processes and procedures within your business. So the LMS industry landscape comes with a handful of problems. The first is called the software Frankenstein. This is where people put together too many tools made by too many different companies that aren't necessarily designed to work together, that can create a less than ideal user experience, or when something's not quite working right, you don't know where to go, or one company says, go to this other company and so on. It can be a very frustrating place to be if you accidentally end up building a software Frankenstein. The other problem people have, and this is common with content creators like YouTubers, bloggers, podcasters, who are great at creating content, but they haven't really figured out how to monetize, how to package into courses or training-based membership sites. Lifter LMS can help with that. We'll get into that. Then there's the content theft issue, where people create content or they use some tool that doesn't really protect or lock down the content to people that are supposed to see it when they're supposed to see it, and that are current on things like payment. The fourth problem is low engagement. This is the dirty little secret of the e-learning industry. There was a study done in, I think, 2011, where it was found that 15% or 10% completion rate is really the standard in e-learning, which is abysmal. And part of the reasons why people just kind of fade away after enrolling in paid and free courses or trainings or memberships is a lack of design around engagement. And then the last problem is a lack of flexibility and folks feeling trapped in the technology. So technology in a learning management system, or if you're designing learning experiences, should be the great enabler. But unfortunately, what ends up happening is people feel trapped with limited flexibility in a lot of solutions. So here's my promise to you. I want to show you a way to develop creative freedom if you're going to be teaching online, if you're an education entrepreneur, either as an expert, educator, business owner, entrepreneur, whatever it is. I'm going to help you sell and maximize revenue. We're going to help you protect your content and keep it secure, create experiences that are engaging and keep your learners engaged, and allow you to connect to the tools you're already using and really anything else you want to. Lifter LMS strikes a balance as being an all-in-one solution, but if you want to extend it out or you're already using other tools, we can help with that as well. So I'd like you to consider 3 big ideas as I get into this presentation. Number 1 is Lifter being an all-in-one solution of the essentials. Number 2, that we help you design experience around results, learning results, not just access to information, and allowing you to connect with anything. So what it's like to work with Lifter LMS. The top benefits are that it helps you to create, to sell, to engage, to protect, and to connect to whatever tools you need to run your business. This is why having an open platform is so important. So I'm going to get into each of these right now. And if you would, in the chat, let me know what you're most interested in, whether it's creating, selling, protection, engagement, or connecting to other tools. Just type one of those words in the chat. So Lifter has an innovative course builder, we call it, where you can create an entire online course from one screen. And this is, and I see Rakesh saying creating in the chat. This is really magical here. One of the things about WordPress is it allows you to create all this content. I mean, it's a CMS, it's a content management system, but structure and organization is important when you're teaching. So Lifter helps you to, package all that content and manage an entire course from one interface, which is extremely important. You can also create any training and business model. Like in our use cases, we had simple online courses, we had membership sites, we had company training portals. You can do free courses if you're using Lifter in a business or in a traditional like school, remote learning, digital learning context. Really any kind of training and business model you can think of is possible. You can create your own unique brand and design. This is the Lifter LMS showcase page. If you haven't found the link to that, it's on the bottom of the website. So just look for a showcase and you can see all the different designs that a very small fraction of our users have done. They all look completely different. And then you can create compliance flexibility. So this is where if you need people to agree to certain terms or you need to collect certain information as they register to be compliant, all that's possible with Lifter LMS. You can create enrollment your way. This is Lifter LMS's innovative access plan system, which allows you to do any business model, pricing model, access model that you could possibly think of. The next thing, I see Simona in the chat is interested in selling. Just like we were showing in the last screen with the access plan, you can package and monetize any way you like. Like WP 101 here sells individual courses, but you can also get all the courses or groups of courses through a membership. That's all possible with Lifter LMS. You can get leads and sales. So this is the Lifter LMS Academy. You can see the Lifter LMS Quick Start course in the top here. This is one of our #1 drivers of new leads in our business. We recently re-recorded all the training in the official Quick Start course from Lifter LMS. If you have not taken that yet, go find that in the Lifter LMS Academy. It shows you how to do basically what I'm going to show you at the end of this training, build an entire course site in 20-25 minutes. So that's what that's all about. But there's been, somewhere around 20,000 people have registered for that course. I recently, when we redid the videos, I saw the videos in there had over 70,000 views, which is amazing. You can sell and maximize profit by blending in other things like coaching, like with the Lifter LMS private areas add-on, community, like with the Lifter LMS social learning add-on, and that helps you to maximize profit if you're trying to make something super valuable and effective. So here's just a example of a recurring revenue, which means recurring value model you could create with Lifter LMS. This is just a pricing table that Lifter LMS has generated here based on the access plans. So basically we have a $1,000 for an access to a course, which comes with some weekly group coaching and group coaching calls and a private community. So it's not just courses. And then we've got a payment plan, and then we have a private coaching upsell for $10,000. So this is just an example of how you can create recurring value, which allows you to charge recurring revenue. Next, Lifter LMS has pre-sale tools. So we know what it's like to be an education entrepreneur, and one of the best things you can do if you're going to be selling your course is to build up an outline, maybe create some of the training, and then bring it to market as soon as possible. Lifter LMS has features that allows you to pre-sell. That's what this image is showing you here. So you can kind of put up the concept and then allow people to buy it with a future start date when they can actually get inside the content. Engagement. This is one of the big things that makes Lifter LMS different in the space. So the results revolution is about designing training around around getting results, not just passing information to a student. So one of the ways we do that is by allowing you to build online communities, not hosted on Facebook, but on your website. So that's what the Lifter LMS social learning add-on does. And what happens there is you end up building a group of people that, when they take off, do well. People support each other, they connect with each other, they realize they're not alone on the journey, which helps motivate them. And online communities can be very powerful if you do them right. You can also create deeper levels of engagement with your learners by using the reporting. One of the things, if you're just using like a membership plugin or whatever, and your content's not organized, you don't know where anybody is or where they're doing well, where they're failing, the last time they logged in, where they left off. You can see all that data in the Lifter LMS reporting, which allows you to engage people that are doing well or the ones that are not. You can also create engagement and protect it by working with the progress, the path in which people go through your content. So you could do drip content, or you could allow people to have to complete one course before they can move on to another course. So you can keep them engaged by controlling their progress through the material and not overwhelming them. Then there's gamification, like achievement badges that pop up that you can design to happen when people achieve various milestones. We also have certificates and personalized emails that can fire based on behavior in the LMS. So that's super important for gamification. So next I want to talk about protecting your content. This is a view of a visitor who's checking out course curriculum, and you can see they're just hovering over that lesson and they can't get in. They can get a sense for what's there, but this content is protected and safe. Somebody needs to buy this course before they can access the content. And if there was a monthly payment plan here, or whatever, if they missed a payment or they canceled the subscription, they would lose access to the content. So you want to keep your content safe and protected. One of the ways this works is through individual user accounts. So Lifter LMS creates individual user accounts when people get into your system and pay you, or if they enroll in a free course. So they each have their own personalized dashboard where they can see what courses they have access to. They can see their grades, notifications, whatever certificates or achievements they've earned, pick up the progress right where they've left off. And you can also protect with privacy controls your users. So privacy is very important, especially in the modern internet. So Lifter LMS is fully GDPR compliant, and your users' privacy is protected, and they have all the capabilities they need if they want to, you know, erase themselves off your platform or whatever, we've got your users' privacy protected with Lifter LMS. The next thing is to connect to anything or the tools that you're already using. So one of the things that makes WordPress amazing is that there's thousands of these plugins out there and themes, so you can have whatever design you want. There's off-the-shelf tools. So if you want to add your favorite plugins like a contact form, you can. And by the way, Lifter LMS integrates with a lot of these, like the WP forms, Ninja forms, and Formidable forms, contact forms you see on your screen. So you can connect with other WordPress tools. This is one of the things that makes Lifter LMS so flexible. And you can connect with your favorite applications outside of WordPress through something called Zapier. So Lifter LMS is one of a handful of plugins that has a proper Zapier app directory listing. If you don't know what Zapier is, it's just a tool that allows non-developers, non-techie people to be able to connect two pieces of software together. So for example, if something happens in Lifter LMS, like somebody completes this course, I want them to end up on this spreadsheet or whatever in Google Sheets, or vice versa. If somebody gets on this spreadsheet, I want them to enroll in this course in Lifter LMS. So it's those kinds of connections between applications that you can do with Lifter LMS through Zapier. And this is a little geeky, but this is for the technical developers out there. If you ever want to build a mobile app to pair with your web application powered by Lifter LMS, you can do that. Your developer can do that. Or if you're a developer, you can do that much easier because Lifter LMS has a robust REST API that's constantly evolving, which allows developers and other people building products and themes that integrate with Lifter LMS to do it even easier. So you can connect to anything without limits, and the Lifter LMS REST API makes that easy for technical folks to do what they need to do. So I'm going to do a model for you, and then I'm going to stop sharing my screen, and then I'm going to do this model, and then we're going to transition into, after I do a little drawing for you of what makes Lifter LMS special in the space, then we're going to transition to the live demo. So give me a second to get this screen share stopped. And if you could, in the chat, let me know so far, what is the thing that I've talked about that you're most excited or most interested or want to hear more about? Let me know in the chat. And I'm going to get something else going for you. And I see some folks leaving some comments. I appreciate that. Keep the comments coming. Awesome. I'm glad I hear just John's and Melissa loves membership. Yeah, it's awesome. It's super cool. Eldridge is interested into protection and registration process. We'll talk about that. Course building and protection. Awesome. Thank you all for the comments. Capabilities of Zapier, completely new to it. Yeah, absolutely. Appreciate that, AI. So engagement, totally, Frizella. Appreciate you saying that. I'm going to share my screen with you. And if somebody could let me know if you see an iPad, just a full screen, white screen. Can somebody write the word iPad in the chat? It says note August 13 on it. Cool. Awesome. I appreciate that. So I want to go over the LMS success engine, which is really what makes Lifter LMS special in the space. And this is really the Lifter LMS difference. So it goes like this. So Lifter LMS helps you to create, launch, and scale. And there's a couple nuances to this. So what's at the center of all this? Well, it comes down to freedom. And there's different types of freedom. There's, there's impact. There's, you want to make a difference. You want to make a dent in the universe. There is income, like you want to build a business. You want financial freedom, financial security, a second stream of income. You want a job that you enjoy more. There's all kinds of different takes on freedom. And there's also the less obvious form of creative freedom, which we'll talk about. So Lifter LMS helps you to create, launch, and scale. And where these really overlap, when you can create and launch, you can make impact. And then between when you can create and find scale, when that comes together, that's where you find that creative freedom. And when you can launch successfully and scale that up, that's where the financial freedom comes in. So this is what we think about when we design our software and we work with you as a community of Lifter LMS users. And there's some other things that within this model that we do to accelerate your success. So that's what we're going to look at now. So the first thing that we help you do when you're creating is we help you to grow your tribe of people. You saw that Lifter LMS Quick Start course and how we use that ourselves, a free course lead magnet, I call it, to help you grow your audience, and a social learning add-on to help you grow your tribe after the sale. And by the way, we have something really cool coming for you in a soon release of Lifter LMS that's going to make it easier for you to build your own free course lead magnet. As you saw in the course builder, Lifter LMS helps you create in terms of producing your training content. And then the big thing we help you do, it's in the software, but it's also in the support, is that we help you implement the technology. That's a big part. This is all a big part of what Lifter LMS does. And then after you create, you get into the launching. So the way Lifter LMS helps you to launch is that I actually put one in the wrong spot. We help you implement the tech here. And what I had off here is to design your program. This is like using the course builder. So just adjusting on the fly for you there. But when you launch, you have to implement the tech. You have to build the website. You know, you need a good software support as you learn the product so that you can implement the tech. The other thing we help you do is to fill your funnel, your marketing funnel. So that's the pre-selling tools. That's the free course lead magnet idea. We have a setting where you can make lessons free so people can try your training before they buy. Lifter LMS helps you to fill your funnel. And then our conversion optimize checkout on one screen checkout and membership capabilities helps you to convert sales. So these are the key aspects that Lifter LMS does to help you launch by implementing the technology, filling your marketing funnel, and converting sales. So when you make it through that cycle, that's a pretty exciting point to be, even if you just have a few sales at first. And then what it comes to is it's time to scale. And that means different things to different people and how big you want to get. But one of the things that Lifter LMS does to really help you scale is we help you do a lot of automation. I call this scaling the human touch with robotics, like the Lifter LMS engagement system, or automating all the enrollment and user account creation. That's all automation, and we're constantly figuring out ways to make your life better through and more efficient through automation. The next part of scale has to do with delighting your learners. So we give you all those tools to make compelling and engaging courses. And another thing we give you is we help you grow your team. And the way we do that is we give you incredible customer support. If you want to outsource the development of a site, we've curated a list of people that can help you with that. We have a office hours mastermind. If you want to use me as your part of your strategy brain and come with me with questions on a weekly basis, and be kind of a pseudo member of your team, we help you do all these things. We help you scale up through automation, delighting your learners, and growing your team. And all this works together to create what we call the LMS success engine. And this is really what makes Lifter LMS different, is that we think about this and approach serving you in this way. So that's what we're all about. And what I'm going to do today is we're actually going to do a live demo of how to implement the technology. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to focus on this little piece of the Lifter LMS growth engine, the success engine. Just know we've got your back in all these different areas to help you create the creative, financial, and impact freedom that you're looking for. But a lot of us, or when you first find us, you might see us as just a software company with some technology that you can implement. But there's a lot more going on behind all that. So if you would, leave a comment in the chat. Which part of this are you most excited about? Creating, launching, scaling, or if you want to pick one of these more granular things that we do to help you grow your tribe, produce your content, design your program, implement the tech, fill your marketing funnel, convert sales, grow your team, delight your automators, or delight your learners, and help you automate your online business. Awesome. So Johan's saying launch, John saying pre-selling. Awesome. We'll just keep it coming. Launch from Simona. That is fantastic. All right. So I'm going to zoom back out of the model here. Fill the funnel. Awesome AI. I appreciate you saying that. I'm going to give my computer just a sec to calm down and cool off. And I'm going to get a demo site ready to show you how easy it is to actually build and launch a course with Lifter LMS. If you could, if you have questions based on this first part, go ahead and put them in the chat, because the first part is more strategic. The next part of this presentation is going to be more tactical. We're going to get into actually building and launching a site with Lifter LMS. So if you have any questions about the high level stuff I was just going over, I saw a few questions coming in earlier. So keep those coming. We will get to all that at the Q&A at the end, but just wanted to give you an opportunity to ask questions now before we get into the presentation. I'm just going to grab a moment to grab some water. And I just want to make a comment too, while my computer's cooling down, that impact, I can see some of you are saying impact, some of you are saying selling. The cool thing is you don't have to choose. You can make money and you can make a difference. And that can be very fulfilling. And you can also be yourself, which is where the creative freedom comes from. So yeah, that's awesome. It is important. Just a little nugget of wisdom for y'all is the people we see the most successful with Lifter LMS, they are thinking about impact. They are thinking about their learners and getting their learners results. So it's just an important factor. It's easy in online business and marketing to get focused on the self and what you need and the money you're going to make, which I'm not saying is bad. It's good. I hope you all make lots of money if you're going to be selling. But having a supreme focus on helping your tribe or your learners get great results is really a common factor we see in the projects that do really well. So I'm going to get my sample site up here. And while I'm getting that up, I just want to answer Al's question. He asked, when you talk about delighting learners, do you have any tips for making the content look as professional as the site? Well, the first thing is a word of caution. I would encourage you to not get too wrapped up in perfectionism. It's just a common problem that people have. So just be careful with that, number one. And yes, like using a tripod, doing an uncluttered background if you're going to have video on is helpful. Practicing, but really the laptop you already have probably has a camera on it. If you're going to do slides, maybe get a slide template from somebody. Like the presentation, if you're not a designer, which I'm not, the presentation I just did for you with my slides, I got the slide deck from somebody else whose design I liked, and then I modified it for my presentation. So that's a good way. But the truth is, as long as your training is spot on and really works, and especially delivers results early, people give you a lot of slack in terms of, Hollywood level production quality. So go easy on yourself, Al, but I do appreciate the question. So I've got my sample site coming together. And I'm just going to get a few more tabs open and we're going to get this party started. And hopefully my computer will behave in terms of overheating. When you're doing all this screen sharing and stuff, it gets a little intense on the computer usage. But all right. So it looks like we're good to go with the demo. Let me just get my screen up for you. And if y'all can let me know, do you see a WordPress screen that's loading? You guys see that? See it? All right. Presell sees it. Johan sees it. Appreciate it. So we're just going to give this a second. This is just our personal tool we use at Lifter LMS to create demo sites. So I'm literally creating a blank WordPress site with nothing on it. And we're going to build an entire online course in 30 minutes or so. So stand by while this thing, there it goes. So I'm going to click that. And there's our new WordPress site. So, all right. So what I'm going to do, and again, as I do this, use the chat, use the Q&A box in Zoom. If you have any questions, just let me know. I like to get this stuff out of the way. On the screen options here, I'm just going to turn all that stuff off. And if I just want to make sure we're on the most current version of everything. All right, so I'm on the newest version of WordPress. Plugins and themes are good. You can see in the plugins, there's no plugins. And then in the themes, we have just the default WordPress themes. So I'm gonna look at what this looks like. So this is what a blank WordPress site looks like. And what we're gonna do here is this is how I get ready to make a course. I'm just opening a file I have on my computer. Let me get that back over here. All right. So there we go. So you can see I've just got a little text document here that has the name of a course, the sections of it. So pretend we're going to teach somebody how to use Zoom, which is the tool we're using right now. And then these are lessons, and I've got some videos hosted on my video host that we're going to be putting into some of the lessons for demonstration. So this is what all I have to prepare for right here. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the back and I'm going to install Lifter LMS. So I'm going to click Add New, search for Lifter LMS, and I'm going to install. And I'm going to activate it. And what that's going to do is drop us into the Lifter LMS setup wizard. So I'm going to click Get Started Now. These are just the default pages Lifter LMS needs to function. I'm going to click Save and Continue. I'm going to be in the US selling in United States dollars, and I'm going to enable offline payments. Click Save and Continue. And I'm going to allow some tracking to help Lifter LMS improve. This just helps Lifter LMS see which parts of the plugin you're using so we know what people find most useful. And I'm going to install the sample course. All right. So this is the sample course. There's a new version of this sample course coming out very soon, but I'm just going to back out of this. And if we go to the front of our website, you can see a Lifter installed some pages. We've got a course here. And I'm actually going to switch to a different theme, that a free theme that has some great features for Lifter LMS. John Phillips was asking if Lifter comes with styling settings. Lifter works with any well-coded WordPress theme. So it basically will inherit the styles of the theme you use. But certain themes give you a lot of options to have some default kind of skins like you're asking. One of those is called Cadence. So I'm just going to go to their website here, and I'm going to get their free Cadence theme. And I'm just going to download it. And there it goes. You see it just downloaded to my computer. And then back on my website, I'm going to click Add New Theme. And I'm going to click Upload. And I'm going to install the Cadence theme that I just downloaded. So I'm clicking Install Now. And then once that gets installed, I'm just going to activate it. Cool. So now I've got Cadence active. And you can see over here, let's just look at what we have. So the Lifter stuff is right here. Lifter LMS, all these items, courses, all these items, memberships, engagements, and orders. And then in this Cadence theme, there's some settings there and the customizer. But the first things first, let's just build our course. So I'm going to go to Courses, Add Course. And remember, all I'm doing is I'm working off this text document right here. So the first thing we're going to need to do is title it. So we'll just call this Zoom Mastery. Learn how to master. I'm just giving it a quick description. Zoom, even if you're not a techie. And then over here, I'm just going to give this course an image, sort of like a book has a book cover. So I'm just going to go into my little folder here, and I got my Zoom course, and I got an image that I just put together. Pro tip, if you're looking for image dimensions, I recommend 1920 pixels wide by 1080 pixels tall. So I'm going to set that featured image. So you can see that's there. I'm going to publish this. And let's just slow down a second and view what we've already built. You can see we've got a course coming together here. I look in the course catalog, and here is my Zoom Mastery course. Starting to come together. I'm just going to add the image here in Appearance Customize, the course image I just added. This is a Cadence setting. So this is what's cool about Cadence is they developed a bunch of Lifter LMS specific settings for free, which is awesome. So we're gonna, I just wanted to do, we'll just do the skinnier version here. And we're gonna show the featured image on the course layout. We're gonna publish that. So you can see what we just did is we just changed it to a skinny kind of course layout like this, and we told it to display the featured image. But let's go back into actually building the course. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to go into the courses, and I'm going to, you can click on Builder here, but I want to show you where it is inside the actual course page. What we want to do is we want to open up that one screen course builder. So if I go down here, I'm going to launch the course builder. So remember I have this little document that has my outline on it. So this is my section, introduction. So I'm going to create my first section. If you call these modules, you can call them modules. If you call them weeks, you can call them weeks. Whatever you want to call them, you can call them. And the next thing we want to do is add some lessons. So I just click the add lesson button, and I'm just going to grab my lesson name, which is what is Zoom. Cool. And then I'm not going to build this entire course, but I'm just going to put a few more lessons in there just so you get the gist of what I'm doing. And then we'll put some sample, just placeholders in there. So this might take me 30 minutes. If I was actually building the whole course, it might take an hour, but I just want to show you in as quick a time as possible. So I'm just going to put 2 more lessons in here. And we'll do one more like actual lesson title. Oops, not existing lessons. You can add existing lessons and copy lessons you already have if you want to, or if you built a lesson not in the course builder, you can add it that way. All right, so, and then just for demonstration purposes, I'm just going to add some stuff and not really give it a actual real names, but just pretend we have like a 3-section course that has 4 lessons in each section. I'm just going to click Save Changes. And if we look at what we've built here, you can see our course is starting to come together here. And then if we go inside this lesson, you can see there's no content in there yet. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go back to the course. I'm going to edit the course. I could just go to the lesson and add the video, but I'm just going to do it from the course builder to show you how you can build the course from one screen. So I'm going to launch the course builder. And open these up. And you can see there's the edit lesson settings there. So I've got my little video link from my video host. So I'm going to put that in there, and you can see this little play button illustrated. So I got the video in there. And then I'm just going to put in 2 more videos for different lessons so you can kind of get a sense for it. And then I got one more video here. And we'll put that in there. So we've got that. And just for fun, let's just put a quick quiz in lesson 2. I'm going to do a multiple choice question quiz. Let's add another answer there. What is the best LMS? Some other WordPress tool, Lifter LMS, or some expensive hosted platform. And we'll make this, of course, the correct answer. I'm going to save that. I'm going to publish my quiz. So that's live. And now when we look at our site, let's see, let me make sure I save my changes there. You can see as I go into this lesson here, we've now got a video. And if I were to mark that lesson complete, you can see this notification in my progress bar, and I'm starting to advance through the course. I could take the quiz that's right here, start quiz. What is the best learning management system? Let me know what you think in the chat. What is the best learning management system? Who's got an answer in the chat? Is it some other WordPress tool, Lifter LMS, or some expensive hosted platform? Awesome. Johan Frizella, thank you for playing along. So yes, is Lifter LMS. I'm going to complete that quiz. And I got my results. And that's awesome. And I'm going to move on to the next lesson. So I'm just kind of playing with it as I build it. But, and just keep in mind, you can do like one column layouts, or you can have a sidebar. I'm actually going to add a sidebar real quick so you can see what that looks like, or some widget areas in the sidebar. So if I go to Appearance, Widgets, Lifter LMS comes with two sidebar areas, Course Sidebar and Lesson Sidebar. And then it comes with two widgets you can use, which is the Course Progress widget and then the Course Syllabus widget. And I'm going to actually use both these. So I'm going to call this, I'm going to give it a title, Progress. I'm going to title this one Lessons. Click Save, click Save. And then for the lesson sidebar, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to put the Progress widget there. Title it Progress. And then the syllabus widget, I'm going to add in there. I'm going to call it Lessons. And on the lesson, I want to help my students stay focused. So I'm going to make it collapsible. So it's only going to show the lessons in the section I'm currently in. So just a nice little feature. So we've got those, and I may need to set them up, but I might have already chosen them. I can't remember. So let's just look at it real quick here. So this layout right now does not have a sidebar on the course, and I'll show you how to add that. And this one, you can see we do have our sidebar widgets here. These are collapsed right now. So you can see what I've completed and what's next right there. And for this particular theme, it's the theme that controls the sidebars. I'm just going to go to the Appearance, Customize for Cadence. And then what I'm going to do is put the sidebars on the Lifter LMS course layout. So you can see I'm using this one, but I'm going to switch it to this one. And what that's going to do is put the sidebar on my course layout. So you can now see that the course layout has the sidebar as well. So it's totally up to you. They have all these different designs you can do, you know, no sidebar, wide, medium, narrow sidebar. So lots of options there. I'm going to click publish, and then we're going to get into the selling part, and we're almost done here. So we're going to go to our courses, and I'm going to click edit on my course. And earlier in the presentation, you could see where I had some screenshots of the access plans, but we're actually going to build some right now. So I click add new. I'm just going to give this access plan a title of one-time payment. And I'm going to give it a price of $2,000. And we'll just do lifetime access, but you could have it expire after a certain amount of time on a certain amount of day, but I'm going to keep it simple. I'm going to click save. And then I'm going to add a payment plan. So that's going to be $200 a month every month for 12 months. So if they end up missing a payment, they're going to get kicked out of the course. But if they make it all the way through, they'll have lifetime access. So I'm going to click save there. And then while we're here, what the heck, we'll do an upsell. So I'll do a with private coaching. And that's just going to be $10,000. And that's just a one-time payment. Let's see here. Make sure I save that. So now when we look at the course, you can see we have our pricing coming together here. And somebody can go to the checkout and make a purchase. And you would want to install our Stripe plugin to have the credit card payments here. But that is how easy it is to do. And then we're going to do one more thing here. Is we talked about pre-selling in our presentation. So what I'm going to do is we're making this video right now in the beginning of August or middle of August 2020. So down here under restrictions, I'm going to enable this course time period. And I'm going to give this a course start date of my birthday, which is September 3rd. So this means that I can start selling this now. People can buy it, but they can't get inside the lessons until September 3rd. And that's literally all you need to do to create pre-selling. And one final thing, just to kind of clean up the design for our demo, is I'm going to go into the menu here. And I'm going to create a main menu. And I'm just going to make this sample page our home page. I'm going to add the courses to the dashboard. Or to the menu. And then I'm going to add the student dashboard to the menu. And then up here, you got to make sure that Lifter LMS is on in the screen options. Lifter has a bunch of its own menu items you can use. So I'm going to add these dynamic sign in, sign out links to the menu, which just means that when somebody's logged in, they're going to see sign out. When somebody's not logged in, they're going to see signed in. I'm just going to retitle these to home. And I'm going to change course catalog to courses. And click save. And then if we go, let's see, that's the menu location is the primary, I'm guessing, which is the main menu. And now the menu will kind of make sense. Oh, one more thing. Let's make the homepage not the blog. So if I go in here to appearance customize, under site identity here. I'm actually just going to rename it My Academy. You can call it whatever you want. You can put a logo up there. I'm just going to do that for simplicity's sake. And then homepage settings. I'm just going to, instead of it being the blog, I'm going to make it that sample page. Because not every website has to have a blog. You can have one if you want, or you can just not have one. Even though WordPress started as a blogging platform, you don't have to use it that way. So we've got our site up. You know, if we were doing this for real, we'd put some information about this program on the homepage. We've got our course catalog. I go into the course. I can see what's in there. I can buy the course. I can do the payment plan. I can get the course plus private coaching for $10,000. And it has a future start date, which means I'm ready to start pre-selling. So if I were to spend about another 30 minutes to an hour on here and filled out all these lesson names, added more detail to my course page and my home page, I would be ready to roll and really pre-sell this course. So that is the lightning demonstration on how you can build an online course in about 30 minutes with Lifter LMS. I just want to bring up my slides one more time, and then we're going to get into the Q&A. So hope you enjoyed that presentation. If you would in the chat, let me know what part were you glad that I showed you. Maybe you didn't know about it. Maybe you think it's cool. Which part of the presentation did you like? Was it the course builder? Was it the quiz builder? Was it pre-selling? Was it, you know, going through the setup wizard? Just let me know what it was you liked the most. And then I just want to ask you if you can see yourself using a learning management system in your business. Can you see yourself using Lifter LMS? Simona says the quiz builder and pre-selling. That's awesome. Simona says yes. Frizella says cool parts, the setup wizard, payment plans. The iPad thing was the best. That's cool. I'm using something called Notability on my iPad for the drawing and an Apple Pencil. John did not know that upsells were built in. Is that just a one-click upsell at checkout, or can it redirect to upsell pages? It can actually do both. We've got a video on our YouTube channel about how to do a post-purchase upsell with Lifter LMS. Totally possible. Is it possible to have a file library? Yes, I saw your question. We will get into that. And then, are you going to send out the webinar? Yes, I will. Thank you for using colors and visuals. You bet. If you haven't been to lifterlms.com yet, I want to encourage you to head on over there. Go to lifterlms.com/pricing. You can see how much it costs. I'm happy to stay here for as long as you need to get your questions answered about will Lifter LMS work for you. Simona, I got your question there. We'll get into that in a sec. Can you see yourself using Lifter? What do you think? And I just want to thank you for letting me go through this presentation and then live demo build with you. Our job at Lifter LMS and our company mission is to lift up others through education. And we help education entrepreneurs like you do that as well. So this is, I'm excited to be able to share what I'm so passionate about with you all. So let's get into the Q&A. I will take as many questions as we have. If it makes sense, based on the question, I may get into some screen sharing. For now, I'm going to stop screen sharing, let my computer cool down a little bit, and we're going to get into Q&A. So I'm going to start with Joe Nash in the Q&A box. Joe is asking, can you add more than one video into a lesson? Absolutely. So let's actually look at that one live. And I'm going to share my screen with you again, and I'm going to show you how to add more than one video. And also stick around to the end. We are going to be doing a $99 giveaway for one lucky winner. So let me share my screen with you, and we'll look at that videos question. So we were in this lesson here. I was adding the videos via the course builder, but you can also just edit the lesson content. So when you use the course builder, that video, the featured video embed URL is also here on the individual post. So I'm just going to pull it out there, and I'm going to put it inside the lesson content, and I'm going to add another video. I'll just hit, I'm just going to add another block area right here, and I'm just going to go up to my syllabus here where I had some of my video links. So I'm going to drop this one in, and you can see 2 different videos. I'm going to update it, and we're going to view that lesson. So you can see I have 2 videos in a lesson. It's totally possible. If you can even get fancy and put them inside of tabs, you know, if you have some kind of tab plugin or using a different page builder or block to create tabs. So yeah, Lifter's super flexible. You can put videos inside columns and not have the sidebar. All kinds of options for doing that. So John or Joe, I hope that helps. Is it possible to change the date format? Yes, it is. That is, I'm sure we have a documentation on that, but I don't have it off the top of my head, and I'm not 100% sure whether that's a WordPress setting or a Lifter setting or both. But yes, Lifter is very international. So if you're using it and you want to use it in a different language, or you have a different format, or you want to change the wording on a piece of content like a button, we have information on how to do all that. So Brandon asks, is it possible to have a file library in Lifter where only logged in users are able to access it? The way people are doing that right now is they are putting, I'll do a demo of that. So Lifter LMS is you can have courses, which we've been showing you, but you can also create content outside of courses that are protected. So I'm just going to put the file library here, and then you would put your file download links here, and then this one is, we want to see this membership access right here. You just click restrict this page, and then I haven't created a membership yet, but you can restrict access to this page by a certain membership or course. So that's how you would do file library protection. So hope that helps. All right, so Donna asked, do you have best practice advice for the length of each video lesson? It's a common question. It really is a it depends lesson, or it depends answer. In general, I mean, people will say a lot about attention spans being short or whatever. So if you have like an hour-long presentation, like what I've done here, for example, it's been about an hour and 15 minutes of presentation. I may break that up into like 10 lessons if I was going to turn this into a course. So 6 to 10 minutes, I see a lot of people do. However, if your topic is super in-depth and you know, it's like a really focused group of people going through it, there's no problem with having like an hour-long lesson. It just depends on your audience, like what their behavior is when it comes to consuming content. But it's also important just to be sensitive to people may be busy, they may be on the go, they may be like consuming the content while commuting to work or something like that. So they can't, and they only have 15 minutes, not an hour. So it might be better to break it up so they can drop in, drop out, and pick up where they left off a little easier. We do have a Lifter LMS video, advanced videos add-on, which allows the LMS to remember exactly where they were at in the video and restore that when they come back, and also track their progress in the analytics if they didn't watch the whole video or whatever. So there's some tools for that. But yeah, there's no right or wrong answer. The big mistake too that people make is, just from what we've seen, is making a course that's too big. So if you have more than like 6 to 10 sections or modules, and those have more than like, you know, 3 to 10 lessons in each, you're starting to get into like this gigantic course. It might be better to make it up into multiple courses that are included in a single membership. So Lifter LMS is a full-on membership solution as well. So if you need to bundle courses together in a membership or in other pages and content outside of those courses, you can do that with Lifter LMS memberships. So let's see what else we have here. I'm just going to look in the chat. So is the only way that the trainer image can be changed through another website? Good question. So the trainer image is, the user image is powered by Gravatar, which is on another website. However, if you are using the Lifter LMS social learning add-on, with the profiles, people can change their own image and put their own kind of banner in the background. So if that's super important to you, I'd encourage you to check out the Lifter LMS social learning add-on. Is the plugin translated into Portuguese? I appreciate the question, Mara. I know we have several Portuguese users. In our documentation, there's a link to how to translate Lifter LMS into another language. So I would just check that out, and it'll have the stats on Portuguese. John asks, sidebar support is something that has to be set up when using GeneratePress. I know that GeneratePress is a good theme to use with Lifter LMS. So I'm just going to share my screen with you here. So this particular website, we did a podcast and webinar with Nick Usborne. He's a copywriter. He uses Lifter LMS. He uses the GeneratePress theme. So where are they? So like this website right here, he has, which is called conversationalcopywriting.com, is built with GeneratePress. And if you go into the course, I'm just seeing how he has it set up here. I may not be able to see it without buying it, but let's see, going to the internet checkout. So here's just the checkout experience in Lifter. This is Lifter and GeneratePress. I'm not going to be able to see without getting into the actual content, but most themes are good to go with the sidebar. And if for some reason you can't get it to show up, we actually have a free plugin called Lifter LMS Labs that has something in it called Super Sidebars that helps make your themes be able to accept the or display the Lifter LMS sidebar. So if you have any issues with that at all, just contact the Lifter LMS support team. So Simona asks, can you custom style the course when the student is logged in? Yeah, you can. So there's a couple things too. Just want to show you that since you asked. We really just covered the basics in our demo here. But if I go to a course like the Zoom Mastery that we were creating, there can be two versions of the course page. So down here, you can see the sales page content down here. We just have it display the default course content, which means it's going to display whatever's up here. But what you can also do is you have options here. You could show like different content, and it's going to give you a different block of content you can display to logged out visitors that haven't enrolled in the course. Or you can redirect to a WordPress page. So if you're using a page builder like Elementor, Divi, Brizy, or just want to use Gutenberg or WordPress to build a custom sales page outside of Lifter LMS and link your buy now buttons into the Lifter checkout flow, you can do that with these. And if you want to change the layout of the course itself, you can start messing with it. So over here in the WordPress editor, you can see that Lifter LMS has certain blocks that are in here that you can move around and modify. Or if you don't want to use our instructor deal, or you want to add another instructor, whatever, you can do that over here. But you can also just remove the whole block if you don't want to show that, or if you don't want to, you know, show certain things, you can just get rid of it. Or if you want to put things in columns, you can do that. If you create something custom, you know, you can save it as a reusable block. It's super flexible. So I hope that answered the question, Simona, about customizing it. All right, so let's see what else we got here. Frizella asks, I'm a bit unsure how after you download it, the Cadence tool emerged on your course building page. Did you show up as your theme for the course? So Cadence is just a WordPress theme. The way I added it is I downloaded it off their website. I went to Appearance, Themes, and here it is right here. And I just clicked Add New, and then I uploaded it and activate it. That's how I got it on my site. There's also thousands of themes here that you can look through in the WordPress theme repository. Oh, not sharing my screen. Let's see here. So I'm just here on Appearance Themes. So the way I added the Cadence theme, they're not in the theme repository yet on WordPress, so I can't get it by searching for it, like in here. So I downloaded off their website, and then I uploaded it right here just by doing this. And you can see here where it is on my desktop. And I'm not going to do it again because I already installed it, but that's how I added it to my website. But there's lots of themes out there. Like there's another popular theme called Astra, which you can find in here. So I could install that. You can have multiple themes. I'm activating Astra, and you can see my website now looks like this. So I might want to rebuild it and, you know, change the settings or whatever, but this is the way. And Astra has a lot of great options for Lifter LMS as well. So you can really use any theme you want with Lifter. So I hope that answers your question there. You're welcome. Al asks, oh, Yeah, Al asked if he's building a site based on locations with different content for each location, how would you decide between login and membership or separate site for each? Like website.com/Boston, website.com/Texas. Well, that's a great question. It really depends on if you need a separate site or not. If they all speak the same language, it's easier to maintain one site. So I might actually use the same site and then just use course categories over here. Like I might create one called Texas, and I would have, you know, whoa, I would have a, you know, I could have a page that only displayed courses in the Texas category. But if I really wanted to, have like a Texas branded website, like My Texas Academy, I would use a subdomain or get the URL and have a separate WordPress site. But the cool thing is with Lifter LMS is if they have similar courses, you can just export the course. Like see this export button? See how that downloaded that? I can download this course and then I can upload it into the Boston site. And now it's on the other site too. So you can import and export courses with just a couple clicks. So I hope that helps with that answer. Ideally, one site's easier to maintain than multiple sites, but if it makes sense to separate them out in subdomains like you're doing based on location, sure, go for it. So Frisella asks, is a downloadable MP3 or MP4 able to be added to say the free course? Yes, you can just add the download inside of a lesson, the link to download the download. See if we got through everything. The best resource for integrating with the GeneratePress theme. Definitely the GeneratePress Facebook group. Also join the Lifter LMS Facebook group. I'm sure there's other GeneratePress users on there. And I'd also do a search on YouTube for Lifter LMS and GeneratePress. Can you change the styling of the course list? That's a great question. I think by course list, this is a question from Simona. That's going to be dependent on your theme. So I'm going to actually activate the Cadence theme again. And if I go to my site and I go to the course list or archive here, I think this is what you're talking about. If I go into my theme settings, so appearance, customize, and you can see they have under Lifter LMS, we'll go to that page. You may be talking about something else, but since you asked about the course archive, you can see they've got settings here for changing. I'll let that happen. So they took the title out. You can change the design of stuff, make it go full width, have a sidebar or not. Different types of content styles. See this where it's kind of boxed, this where it's not boxed. You know, you could do 2 columns. Right now it's on 3 columns. You could do, that looks pretty good actually for only having 2 courses. So that's just an option there. If you were talking about this styling down here, this theme does have some options there. For example, you could do 2 columns if you wanted of the lesson grid, like this. 1 column center, like that. You can also, lessons can have their own images, which you can incorporate. I don't have any set up here, but that's going to add a lot of design. So that's the lesson list. I'm not sure which one you were talking about, but I hope that helps there. Yeah, it is theme dependent. Lifter is mostly going to bring the functionality, and the theme is going to bring the design. So that's basically how that works. Any tips on privacy notices, data protection, particular for UK and Europe? Absolutely. Let's look at that. A fun little fact of history is that Lifter LMS was one of the first WordPress plugins to be to cross over the GDPR compliance line when that rolled out a couple Novembers ago or whenever that was. So down here into Lifter LMS settings, under accounts, you can see here this account erasure requests. These settings here just allow you to customize the GDPR compliance. And then there's some general WordPress settings over here under privacy, which we'll look at in a second. But one of the things, since you asked about it, one of the ways that Lifter helps you with the European compliance and helps you as a course creator is sometimes when you remove data, you still want to know that there was a student there or that that person paid you amount of money for the course or the membership. So they get all their data, their personal identifiable data gets removed, but you still have a record that an anonymous user was there so that your analytics don't get messed up and your reporting and that kind of thing. So you no longer know who that was, but you know they were there, if that makes sense. And then over here in the privacy settings, you can create your own privacy page, which then is linked up in the checkout flow with a in Lifter LMS, whether it's a free course or paid course. Remember, there's a little checkbox where people agree to the privacy statement and a link to go check it out. So all that is ready to go for Europeans, Americans, anybody, anywhere who wants to have top-notch privacy compliance. We take that seriously. If you need any help with that at all, feel free to contact the Lifter LMS support team. And I'm just going to scan to see if we have any more questions. Are you going to send out the webinar? Yes, you will get a copy of this replay. All right, y'all like the setup wizard, the payment plans, the quiz, awesome. So John was asking earlier about box shadows and other CSS-based micro interactions that might be banked into Lifter. In our documentation, we have a CSS styling guide. You can check that out. In terms of Lifter LMS skins, minimalist design, material design, that's really going to be on the themes to do. Lifter has like a minimal design itself out of the box, but then themes and like Cadence here, build on top of that. And you can, of course, because it's open, you can customize it to your heart's content. All right. I think we got through the presentation there, all the questions, and we just drew the winner, and it was Presell. You're the winner of the free year of one of the Lifter LMS $99 add-ons. So congratulations. There's a message to you in the chat. Just email us at team@lifterlms.com and we will hook you up with your winnings. So I want to ask you before we go, what is your biggest takeaway from the presentation today? What did you learn? Just help me know what I'm doing right in these presentations. What was the most impactful for you? I'd love to know. As you're typing that in, I want to thank you for coming. Thank you for spending your valuable time with us today. We really appreciate it. If you have any questions at all, you can just email us, team@lifterlms.com. If you haven't gotten Lifter LMS yet, just head on over to lifterlms.com and pick the plan that is right for you. I'll just share my screen there. So that's just right here. If you go to the pricing page, just check this out. We have 2 bundles, the Universe bundle and the Infinity bundle. The Infinity bundle is everything we make. The Universe bundle is many of our add-ons. They're all available individually. So this list shows what's in each bundle. If you want to check out an individual add-on, you just go up here to software add-ons and check that out. If you're not quite sure what to get, one of the things you can do is just sign up for the $1 30-day demo, which is this link on the homepage. Just click this button. You'll get a temporary website that has a Lifter and all our add-ons installed that you can play around with. So check that out. Al says it can do so much more, in particular, the different ways to add content. Yep, that's one of the things that makes Lifter special, and WordPress and the community of plugin authors and page builders and all this stuff. There's so many different ways that you can assemble a digital learning experience and learning environment online. It's pretty awesome. It's a great time to be innovating and creating courses, memberships, schools, training portals, all that, whether you're doing that for yourself or your clients. So I won't keep you any longer. I'm Chris Badgett from Lifter LMS. I want to thank you for coming. Kathy, thank you for helping me put this on. And I hope all of you out there on this presentation for coming. I appreciate it. You'll get an email with a replay if you want to revisit anything that I did today. So thanks for coming. And I hope you have a great rest of your day. Take care.